And greetings. Hey. Welcome to another exciting edition of Faulkner Fixes All. We're working on this late 30s Aggies Wolf bike. I don't know the year. I did contact the Aggies bike shop in Richmond, Virginia that's been in business for 100 years, and they got back to me. They want a picture of it, so I'm going to be sending them a picture today. Maybe they got some info on it. I'm thinking 33 to 39, but you know, I've been wrong before. Anyway, I was kind of cleaning up the frame. If you look in the other videos, none of this detail was here. And I was cleaning up the frame, you know, just trying to compound on some of the black and bring the black back. And well, the first thing I noticed on the fork, you know, I'm not going to straighten this one, but I was kind of looking at it and I saw these lines, so I scrubbed on it a little bit with some steel wool, and I was like, oh, there's a little First Nation feather of some sort that was popular in the 30s and 40s. They had the various bikes with the Columbia Fire Arrow, the Sky Chief. They had bikes with kind of the motif on there. Anyway, yeah, so I matched it as well as I could on the fork there, you know. It wasn't exactly like the hand-painted stencils in the 30s, but I tried my best, and it looks pretty good. I mean, you know, we're close. Close is the key word. And what I think I'm going to do now is we're going to take these cranks out. I took the kickstand off. Took the seat out, saved that to the side. This did free up with a giant 1/2-inch breaker bar. I was happy. Now I sanded on here too, and I didn't find anything, although there's evidence of something, maybe some pinstripes. I might sand on this in the back, I'm not sure. And I might take some steel wool and compound to this tube just gently and see if there's anything there. Because if there's stuff here, there might be a little something there. I'm not sure. I don't want to mess it up. I'm kind of just wanting to leave the black spray paint alone. Now, obviously, somebody crudely masked this off to make it look like a newer bike, probably in the 40s. And they sprayed over this. I don't know why, but hey, kids do. Maybe it was a kid. Maybe somebody wanted a newer looking bike. Anyway, I matched it. It's not great. It's not super, but it's there. It kind of matches that, and this side was a little better. And it's an Aggies Wolf, 33 to 39. I don't know. The bike shop's going to get back to me. On an unfortunate note, all of these beautiful stems from the 30s would not fit the new fork. It has to be a newer Schwinn size to fit the new fork. So we'll probably take a regular Traveler stem. This is just a Varsity stem right now. It's the wrong throw and everything, but unfortunately with these newer forks, the inside diameter will not allow me to put the original stem on. And I even had this one, which is, you know, they didn't give you a lot of adjustment there. That's one Fred dipped. Another reason to try to straighten that fork, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, let's put you on the stand. And what we're going to do is take these cranks out because we have to. I mean, I can't even ride the bike with this sound coming out of this. It's atrocious. Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. Let me get you here. Let me get you in here so you can hear this. Okay, you guys ready? Okay, let's get you close. Yeah, that's not the sound you want to hear on a 30s bike. Yeah, no. It's not the sound you want. The bearings in here were Torrington, and they were in great shape, even though that race was wasted. The actual bearings, they knew how to make them back then, and I wouldn't doubt it if these are also Torringtons. Let's get into it and find out. Let's get going, because Faulkner Fixes All is here to show you how not to do it. Yeah, you should be tearing that bike down and having it powder coated and professionally stenciled and yeah. We're gonna do what we can do. I'm just happy that kickstand wasn't ruining the frame too much. And this is one of those, it has this weird adjuster. Let's try to peel that off of there. It has this very strange adjuster found on some rather old bikes. They really wanted you to be able to adjust it and lock it in. And there's like a extra washer, or I can't remember what's going on here. Let's see. There's this washer. Yeah, we're just gonna have to work the washer off. It's kind of stuck. I'll show it to you when I get it off. Yeah, they really wanted you to be able to adjust things. I think this is a 2-piece adjuster with a washer. Let's see. The grease doesn't look that bad. I wonder if someone's been in here. Well, if they were in here repacking it, they didn't replace any parts, that's for sure. Let's just let that hang for a second. You stay. Yeah, it's one of those weird ones. You see the outer ring, and then there's this special washer that fits perfectly in there. Good luck getting that. You're going to have to make one to fit in there. But see how that's got that little ridge. Oh, there's another washer in there. Look at that. I did not know that. No, it's just part of the... It's kind of pressed on there. We're going to have to clean that off and take a look at it. Hang on for a sec. Yeah, don't go anywhere. Yeah, this is definitely a weird one. This is one of those 1930s kind of thing, you know. They not Schwinn, because look at the cone there. It doesn't have that bearing inset. On the Schwinns, it has a little half round machined into it. This one doesn't have it. It's in great shape though. Wow. A couple little rust spots. Man, they knew how to harden stuff back then, folks. They knew how to do it. Yeah. I don't know if this piece pops off. We're going to soak it and see. I think it does. Oh yeah, it just spun. You can see. Look at that. It spun. Somebody spun it. And it came out of the little notch, and it crunched into the threads. Yeah, somebody was being silly. I should be able to save that. I know I don't have anything like this. Yeah, that little peg there goes in that notch. And then this goes on the notch. Boom. And Bob's your uncle. It all goes together. But look, somebody spun it. Yeah, we'll fix that. We'll soak it. It's got a little serrated edge here to grab too. This is quality, man. This is 30s, and the race isn't that bad. We're going to use it. Let's take it all apart. Well, the inner race isn't bad, but I'm really worried about that outer. The outer race isn't bad, but I'm really worried about the inner race. Yep, somebody repacked these. And they used the wrong kind of grease, really. And if they did repack them, they didn't clean anything because there's grit everywhere. Yeah, they did the old let's open it up and throw some grease in it kind of thing, you know? Yeah, it's very gritty in there. I hope the cones are okay. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah, folks. It's missing a couple bearings. I knew something was bad. Hang on. This bearing, they're all here. Oh, yeah, and this bearing, there's two missing. Sorry it's so greasy. Dang. Somebody repacked it and they probably didn't even notice. They probably just shoved grease in there. They didn't even, you know, a quickie dicky, they just undo it and shove grease in and pop it back together. Yeah, I can feel grit all over this stuff. It's not good. This was not done very well. And this is bent and missing two of the bearings. I think I have a cage like this somewhere. We shouldn't be having that much of a problem. The real thing is, how are those cones and how is this inner race? So we'll put these to the side. These are something I can deal with. Man, it's greasy, grimy mess around here today. Dude. Now, it'd be great if there was a date stamped on this. I doubt it. Nope, this one's wasted. I knew it. Yeah, when the bearings disintegrated and they kept riding, they ruined the inner race. This is something I can deal with. I have some of these. But that other race, with that special stuff, that would be hard to find. Yeah, that's wasted. Look, see the little dots there? See all the little dots? Yeah, that one's bad. And let's see if there's a date on this. Gotta be great if there was a date stamped in this. Oh, there's a date. Huh. 4027 323L. Well, that doesn't mean anything. I know this bike isn't a 1923. I mean, it could be. 4027 5-23L. I guess the L means, I don't know. Yeah, that date, maybe these have been replaced, but I don't think they even stamped parts like that in 1923. Yeah, I don't know about that. 2 of 30, who knows? Yeah, that doesn't mean anything to me. Yep, okay. Well, and this gear is very worn and probably bent. It's very worn. Maybe we might be able to use this. The cranks are still good, though. They're not bent. You know, when you sight down them, they're not bent, and these threads are still good. This is a usable part without the inside race has to be replaced. Okay, let's go and look at the... God, my hands are gross. Dude. We're going to look at the cones now. I'll get you over on this side. Because the real cone in question is the side... Oh, there's the bearing sitting in there. Maybe they didn't disintegrate in there. Yeah, bear with me. Bear with me, folks. Let's get you down here. I think I see some bearings. Well, I guess they didn't drive it long enough to make the bearings disintegrate. It sure is gritty, though. Yeah, there's one. Come on, baby. I need you. No, we're gonna replace these. There's one bearing. We needed to find 2. Oh, there's another one jammed up in there. It's like half a bearing. Let's check these out, folks. God, there's sand over everything. I expected it to be dry and ruined, not greased and sandy and ruined. That's funny. Okay, we're not going to reuse these. I'm just seeing if they're broken in half or anything. Oh, one's almost about to break. Yeah, okay, it was on its way out. They don't feel round, put it that way. All right, let's spray something in there and clean this out and see how bad these inner cones are, because I don't feel like machining some Schwinn cones to fit this. And that's what we're going to have to do. It's a different diameter, if that's the case. Man, that is gritty. I don't know where they were riding this, but maybe it's a Florida bike. The front rim looks like a Florida bike. Yeah, they're worn. They're pretty bad. Nothing I haven't seen before. What it's got going for it is, in the 30s, they really knew how to harden things. And that doesn't look too bad on that side. I think we got lucky. It's scratched up a little. But I can probably pop these out, maybe spin them in the lathe with some very fine paper, or just really clean them out. That one's serviceable. Let's go to the other side. Yeah, so we're going to clean this up, take everything off, and we're going to compound on that seat tube a little bit and look for more stenciling, because if I can save any more of that, I will, because, you know, they're only original ones, folks. Spray some vinegar on it. Man, that's gritty. I think I'm going to have to pound these out and blow some compressed air in there and get all that, because there's small little bits of sand and rocks in there, and that's unacceptable. This one might be no good. Dang. What is going on there? I don't have any of these. I know I don't have any of these. Oh, this one's okay. Most of that scratchy stuff's on the surface where the bearing doesn't ride. Yeah, I think we're okay on that. Let me put some hand cleaner on here. Man, there's little bits of pebbles and shit in there. Wow, that's a rough one. I'm really glad I looked into that and didn't just ride it and ruin what's there. That's a common problem. People like, oh, let's pump this bike up and let's just pump it up and ride it around. And, you know, just pumping up a bike and riding it around sometimes is the worst thing for it because, you know, you're riding around on dry bearings, you know, and sometimes that's the worst thing for it. Look at all the marks on here. Oh, man. Yeah, you can tell someone's been working on that quite a bit. Look at all the times vice grips have been on there. Nobody had the right wrench. We could actually use the right wrench. That would be probably a first thing for this bike for quite a while. Let's get a 17 or 11/16. Let's try to do the right thing, huh? What's this? That's an 11/16. Yeah, you know what? Let's use the right wrench. Really? Imagine that. Yeah, someone's been messing with this bike a long time. So many people have worked on this, and look how far back the wheel was with that chain. It was stretched way back, and when I was cleaning the chain, I did notice it's over here soaking. Some magical solution of whatever. I did notice that chain had 2 master links on it, which is always a bad sign. Yeah, so we'll get this wheel off, and the axle will probably just turn. Yes, the axle is turning. Okay, we'll tighten this back up. Not that it really matters, because this back wheel is a piece of junk. We'll get that one loose. And then we'll see if this one comes. Yes, so now we're not spinning the axle around there, tightening the cones against the dry bearings. Or in this case, maybe bearings packed with black grease and sand. I'm not quite sure what's going on. These are the wrong washers. They're giant. And I don't like how these fender stays are bolted in, but that's the way this bike is. And I don't like it. There we go. Let's take this off. Now, I don't really care about these washers, but I definitely want to save these bolts on here. Well, we'll put the washers on here too. So, hope everyone's doing okay. This is just a little update on the Aggie's Wolf. Oh, yeah, this is crunchy. I can feel it. Look at that old, whatever that is. What is that? Dude, it's really hard grease. Yeah, this hasn't been serviced in a long time. I was wrong about the cranks. They were serviced. They were packed full of black grease and sand. Let's take this fender off. It's really not doing us much good right now. Plus, I want to kind of desand on this back area. And maybe there's a detail here. It'd be great to find this detail and maybe make a stencil like I did in the front fork or something. Although that didn't turn out that great, but it's there now. Let's take this fender off. It's not really doing it for me. Yeah, definitely some yard art bolts. Yeah, at least they're new and you can get them off. I don't know why I'd even want to save these because they're completely wrong and shiny, but there's a lock nut. At least they put some lock nuts on it. Maybe somebody was trying to ride it, you know. You never know. I'm probably about the 20th person to work on this thing. And I mean, am I doing the right thing? God, I hope so. You know, am I trying to make it right? Am I doing the right thing? I hope so. Besides dropping all the nuts. Okay, we'll put this fender to the side. I did some sanding here because I thought there was some action there with the stencil, but I see a little line here, and it was common. It was common in the pre-war era to have a white stripes painted on, and sometimes they did it during war years. It wouldn't have a reflector, but there is a hole that could have been added later. This might be a wartime bike, but I doubt it because it wouldn't have any fancy stuff like that stenciling if it is. But during the war, you had like wooden pedals with wood in them and grips that were wood and no chrome and no reflector, just a painted thing right here. That was a wartime bike then. I don't think this is a wartime bike. It's too fancy. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to clean this frame up really good now that it's just the frame. I was lucky to get this undone too. And then we're going to take the wheel off, put a bolt to kind of hold that. And if I scrub on this and find some stenciling, great. If I don't, whatever, we're going to clear coat the whole thing. We're going to bomb it with some crystal clear. With some whatever that is. The company's not on it. They didn't pay me. So yeah, we're going to bomb it. We're going to clean it up really good. And here's the damage I was talking about from the kickstand being over tightened, which is usually a rally. It's usually a rally thing. When you find an old rally, the way the rally kickstands are, they get over tightened quite a bit. And there's the damage. That's really not too bad. I can live with that. Structurally, it's not, obviously it's not preferred, but it's not too bad. I think with the correct kickstand, we can let that go. And these races are serviceable. I'm good. I think I can clean them up really good. Just clean them better. Get all that tarnishy stuff out of there. The part where the bearing is nice and smooth. It's this outer part that got a little rust. And some of that might come off with some cleaning, some steel wool or something. But I don't have these races. I do have a bearing like that, but I don't have the races. And I could probably fix that bearing. Yeah, the backstays look good. Oily. There might be some stuff here. We're going to try to... Up we go. We are going to try to compound and lightly steel wool that just a little bit to see if I can get some of this out, if it's there. Usually, with my recollection, bikes from the 30s, when they had fancy stuff here, they usually had a little something there. And they usually had something on the back fender, but I think that's a forgotten cause on that one. Somebody sanded it pretty good. Anyway, we got to clean this up. We got to clean it. And we'll sand it a little bit. If it's not there, we'll just dust this with a little bit of gloss black. Maybe just a little bit. And we'll have to clean that up and dust it maybe. We're not going to do a lot of paint ruining. We already did some fudgy stuff up front. Anyway, that's about it. And thanks for tuning in. And this old girl's going to be... She's going to be back on the pavement pretty soon. Wheels are next. But first, we're going to make it look better. I'll keep you tuned in. And, yeah, wish me luck on that seat tube. Man, I really hope there's something there. Maybe we could do a little sanding right now. Only 24 minutes in. Let's do that. You guys would love to see a scrubbing of the seat tube. Yeah, let's do some scrubbing right now. We'll take some steel wool and we'll just lightly scrub this, and we'll see what's under there. No great loss, right? I mean, what the heck? If there's white stuff under there and it's an emblem, we'll stop. And if it's not there, well, if it's there, we'll be careful and we'll remove it. If it's not there, then we'll stop. And I can always just spritz it with some gloss black. I really don't want to, but this is one of those things like, do you mess with the paint that some kid did when spray paint was invented? Or do you just let it be? But man, if I could find more of this stuff, you know, if I could find more of that, I'd be pretty good. Okay, here we go, folks. Let's do it. Maybe I'll get some 800 grit. Let's go get some really fine stuff. Okay, this is not the way to do it. We're just gonna lightly scrub right here. Is there anything there? Probably not. Probably bare metal. I don't see anything yet. I'm not seeing it. No, there's nothing there, folks. Darn! I gotta touch that up. Yeah, I don't see anything. Well, we made it different. Nah, there's nothing there. Darn. It's worth a shot. What I was doing was hoping I would find some of this. But alas, no, it's just getting down to primer and bare metal. Okay, well, I guess there's some touching up to do. Okay, so what did we learn? We learned that these 30 stems don't fit a more modern fork. And that there's stuff under there. Okay, next video, I won't be riding it. I'll still be working on it. This is what you get when you mess around with 30s bikes. Okay, have a good day, folks. If you're not subscribed, you should be. And think about becoming a paid subscriber. You know, I think I've made $9.61 this month. I'm really raking in the cash. Okay, so, hey, thanks, everybody. And I'll give you an update soon. Don't feed the negative. Keep it all happy.